And we're back. And today we are joined by Alex Melnik. Alex, how about you introduce yourself?
Oh, that's abrupt. I'm Alex Melnik. I am a Canadian barebow archer, and I'm looking to learn more about you Irish fellows. Let's do it.
Well, we're here to learn about you, buddy.
All right.
But we can do a bit of both. But Jeff, okay, so a lot of people who listen to the show aren't archers. So could you describe barebow for them?
Well, barebow is it's okay. You have to take it from somewhere. It's more of a traditional sense of archery, where it's less equipment attached to the bow, where it's just a classic arc of a bow, and you're shooting the same arrows. There you go. It's got a picture of it right there. It's a bow without any sight. It's a bow without any stabilizers or additions. It still has modern high-tech materials, but it doesn't have all the wheels and bells and whistles and things that you would see on an Olympic bow or a compound bow, except for a sight, maybe, arrow rest. Yeah, pretty simple. It's a pretty simple bow. It's a lot more recognizable to people that aren't familiar with the sport. They'd look at it and be like, oh, that's a bow. Whereas when you see some other ones, you're like, holy crap, they're shooting a complex machine.
Yeah, which would be a compound bow, or if you're familiar with those hybrid bows that have, it's a whole different story.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're thinking of a bow, you're probably thinking of a barebow normally, or maybe when you see in the Olympics. Yeah, if you watch the Olympic archery, just think of that bow and then take off all of the equipment, and that's a barebow. So, you know, you're a big deal in Canada at the moment with your shooting, but maybe not at the moment thanks to COVID. But when you were getting the chance to shoot, you were doing pretty well.
Yeah, COVID took a chunk out of us all.
Yeah, definitely.
Did you catch it? Did you catch it?
No.
You?
No, I got it. Yeah, I got it.
Really?
Actually, I should have said that, Thomas. That's the reason we rescheduled the first time.
Yeah, I tell you that. Yeah, that's.
Probably should have said that.
Yeah, it's all right. It actually, like, I've been sicker. I for sure have been sicker, but I didn't feel like I was going to die every second of the day when I was sicker. But with COVID, you have the fear of like it's COVID. You know what I mean? And that makes it way worse. But that was okay.
A bit off topic, but did that make you feel worse throughout the experience, thinking, "Geez, I could die"?
Yes, way worse. That was the worst part, because like I was sick. I had a little bit of shortness of breath, I had a headache, a little bit of a fever. Like, you know, it was fine. But every single day you wake up and you check your pulse every single day before you go to bed. You're like, am I going to wake up in the morning? Like when you have the flu, you don't think like that. You're just like, I'm sick. I'm going to bed. You know what I mean? It's COVID. The fear of COVID made actual COVID way worse.
Yeah, we've had a couple of conversations like that, but you know, I'm glad you got through it, buddy. I'm glad we're here to talk today. Otherwise, this would have been a fucking awful experience.
Yes, it would have sucked.
Do you have any long-term effects? Like, is your taste?
You know what?
I
lost my taste like halfway through, which is weird because my wife gave me an eggnog latte, which should be like, have a taste. You know what I mean? And she gave it to me, and I didn't look down at it, and I took a sip, and I didn't know what I was drinking. It tasted like I was drinking warm, thick water. And I was like, there's the loss of taste that people are talking about. And then it only lasted about 2 or 3 days and it was back. I probably felt the fatigue for about a month after, like just every day was just like a slog to get through. But then I'm pretty good now. Nothing lingering.
Well, I'm glad to hear, man. Otherwise it would be, again, pretty awful. You haven't really got, like myself, you haven't really got a chance to shoot thanks to the old COVID. You were saying you got to do a bit of practice recently. How'd it go?
It went horrendously. I mean, I do have the frustration. A couple months ago, I took a sledgehammer to a wall in my basement and bashed a window to clear up a nice shooting lane so I can shoot approximately 10 meters in my basement. So I do that all the time. So I'm still stamina and everything like that. But then I went outside to shoot at any type of distance, and it did not go well. But it's got to start somewhere. So.
And it's something that we're going to all see when we're going back to shooting, or just as athletes in general. You're going to be fucked up. Like, what you think you can do is not what you can do anymore.
Yeah.
It's like amateur boxers are going to be terrible when they come back now.
Yeah.
Or amateur MMA fighters. They're just going to be going around swinging haymakers and getting knocked out and stuff. They're going to be doing terrible. And then for us, it's just going to be, you know, you went 5 feet under. You went 10 feet over, you know, stuff like those kind of crazy numbers because I know you don't have it dialed in, but that'll be more so for like traditional style shooting, like when we had Andy on. Myself and yourself, we use tabs, so we kind of have them checked out. So we shouldn't really have any excuse. And same with compound shooters. But yeah, probably still.
As long
will
as you
see.
you should be okay as long as you have your stamina, right? As long as you're strong enough to pull your bow back and like not fatigue and launch it off in a random
finish
direction.
the competition.
Yeah.
What kind of poundage you shooting, buddy?
I'm shooting 48 at about 28 and a half. And yeah, more than most people shoot, I would think, for especially for indoor. I just like shooting heavier arrows.
Okay.
I find it is a little bit more advantage in the wind. And my hunting bow is about 54, and I shoot that all the time. So it's actually feels light to me when I shoot 48. So
yeah,
I might as well take advantage of it.
Well, there you go. I think that's crazy. You must be built like a tank.
I'm not. I shoot a lot, so it's not that bad. If you shoot a lot, it's not that bad. Like if I take a month off, ooh, that would suck. So yeah, I used last year. I shot 42, and I found a little bit more success shooting a little bit heavier. But
yeah. At the moment, I'm not shooting, but I went from 32 to 36, 38. And when I moved to 38, it's just done. There's no more shooting. And I've kind of found that like I know so little about archery at this point because I'm not practicing. It's like what is it? A muscle not flexed, but fatigued or something. I feel like more of, I don't know if you have the same feeling. I feel like more of an archery enthusiast than an archer.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, like I'm above the big old fat USA down there, and they just like, it seemed like the whole archery community down there just like flouted all the COVID rules and just did whatever they want. So like, it seems like they're just competing like normally. So I kind of felt like a bystander, like, well, these guys get to practice all year and everything like that. And then I get to go to competitions with them. So I felt a little bit like an enthusiast like that. But the lack of competition just kills me. It's so hard to stay motivated. It's just really tough.
Yeah, you have to find your way. And best luck if you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know what the story is at the States. I didn't realize so many people were shooting.
Oh yeah, man. They had I mean, the archery community in general down there tends to be fairly Trump supporting, I would say. Not everyone, but I would see the majority of them. A lot of them just denied COVID was a problem, and they anti-masking and all that stuff you hear about in the news. And
that must be weird for you as a Canadian, seeing that. Like,
dude, it's super.
Right under you. I mean,
it's super weird. Man, I live like 20 minutes from the border.
Yeah, do you know
what I mean? So like, it's super weird. It's super weird. Not that like, I mean, everyone, you're all entitled to your opinion and everything like that, but it's like, just don't deny the science. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, dude. Even like outside, you don't really need to wear a mask if it's sunny. Like UVB radiation kills it. Like we had a guy on Ken Cage from Airplane Repo, and you know he goes around with this giant light to sterilize aircrafts because you know light will kill the COVID virus, which is handy enough. So if you're outside, make sure it's sunny. Don't be going out at night. But what you're saying there with the archery community, I love it to bits. But in the States, that's definitely true. When when the whole Black Lives Matter thing was going on, everyone posted that like square as a whatever, I guess to show support. I lost nearly 200 followers.
Dude, so did I. I put the black square on and I was like, holy crap, there goes 300 people. I'm like, really? Because
dude, I was really like,
good to see you go.
I was like, holy fuck.
I remember that.
Like
that was fucking crazy.
Yeah, I remember I sent that to you. So I was like
really scared putting it up because you knew you'd lose all these amount of followers. That's crazy.
It was I'm on the same board as you that I put it in like, you know what, like, man, I respect everyone. I don't care what your political beliefs are. I don't care whatever it is. You know, you can do you, man. Everyone can you can just do yourself. Just don't hurt other people. Problem solved. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm the same thing.
Super easy. Super easy.
I was thinking like, you know, maybe like everyone would be cool and we'll just move on. But even black guys unfollowed me. You know, like a lot of guys I talked to just unfollowed me because of that. I don't think I did anything else controversial that day. So
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I put that up there, and then it was like
300, man, that's rough.
yeah, I mean,
Jesus.
yeah, that's a big number. I'm not sure if I dropped 300. I know I dropped a lot. Like I opened it up like 2 hours later, and I was like, holy, wow, like
Shit.
Yeah,
crazy.
They're fucking crazy down there with their
What-
fucking politics and everything. Like,
Dude, it's like sports teams. It's like hard. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
I
And
understand.
like I have family in the States. I have family that are hardcore right wing. I have family that are hardcore left wing.
Mm.
And it's like even communicating with them is like, you guys are in both sides, flat out both sides. You guys are nuts.
oh,
Dude,
it's
like,
two sides of the same
absolutely.
coin. You know,
Absolutely.
like
Yeah,
But both sides are scared of each other.
yeah,
And then if you're a centrist, you're gonna get shit. So
yeah. You get exactly. You
Yeah.
get ripped hard from both sides. Yeah,
yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of people who can't see people past their political beliefs. Like I know
yes,
even people here, like I say this all the time. I know two guys, I'll never name drop on them, but they're not on speaking terms anymore because of the conversation they had about Trump versus Biden. And they're Irish living in Ireland. They're not on speaking
Holy-
terms over the American election. Like, come on.
sheesh. I mean, like, it doesn't matter. I mean, it obviously matters who those two guys are, Trump and Biden, but like, the problem is that there's not even an impartial place to get your news, like to get your information about it. There's not even someone who goes, this is what it is, and actually just gives you facts. And if there is that, then the other side's okay. The river just rips them apart. You know what I mean? It's like you have to choose. It's so crazy, dude. It's
yeah.
It's unique, definitely.
Okay. No, it's
But I understand, like the more conservative side of the United States, like, you know, it's in their constitution they should be allowed have their guns or whatever. Like I know that's a thing at the moment. Like a lot of the time, you know, they have a lot of land. If they want to go shoot out there, who's going to stop you, really? But yeah, I understand some of that stuff. But when you have all these lads saying, "Oh, we posted the black square," gone, you know,
yeah,
that's pretty rough.
yeah. There's a lot of the gun thing is a whole kit and caboodle, like a whole. It actually it still is in Canada too, because like it also is a gigantic there's a city versus rural aspect to that. You know what I mean? Like if you live in the country, you just can't fathom gun crime because it just is not, it doesn't exist out there. You know what I mean? Like no one is taking the guns and shooting up a school in the rural areas, but it happens in the cities. And then like in Canada, we have hard gun control, but people still have guns. You know what I mean? So like it's all over the place.
Same here.
All over the place.
like you have to do a lot to get a gun in Ireland.
Yeah,
The idea.
It's just super hard. Like
you have to be a landowner
landowner,
Okay.
or a
have
farmer. And you have
hunting
to-
experience or something like.
You have to be part of a gun club.
Okay.
And it's kind of like, you know, mandatory insurance over here. They know they
Yep.
can crank up the price, so they will.
Oh yeah.
You know, so stuff like that.
Yeah, we have our gun laws are pretty much anyone can get a gun, but you got to sit through your course, which is at least a weekend, and then you got to get a license, and then you got to do a background check in your mental health, and then you can go and get your gun. And that's only like rifles. Handguns, you can sit through another course, and then you can only keep those inside of a lock safe and only use them at a gun range.
Mm.
But like rifles and stuff like that, you can. I mean, it's not difficult to get one, but that like week-long process that it would take to get one deters a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
But I get the argument on both sides. Like if you get
Yeah.
rid of them, there won't be any gun crime. But if you have them, there's people there who are able to stop it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, there's also if you look at the rise. I mean, we're in a serious rabbit hole here. Have you ever read?
Yeah, how'd we get here?
I don't know. You ever read the Gulag Archipelago, like the rise and fall of communism in socialist Russia?
Oh well, we really have gotten here, haven't we?
Oh yeah, we
How did we get here already?
Like,
We're already
read
like
that book. Like
how many minutes in?
Yeah,
no, go
we're
on.
talking about socialism.
Oh,
please.
God.
What is it? Is it a
Please.
book? I've never heard of it.
We're down the rabbit hole. Just go. Let's go.
Oh yeah, it's probably the book that led to the fall of communism in Russia. Like it's probably the leading factor. It's a very powerful book, like the Gulag Archipelago. It's all about some dude who basically flat out tells you his experience, like with no bullshit, what happened to him and what happened to his peers. And it was like all that stuff's contraband, right? No books and everything in communist Russia, you get destroyed and killed for doing whatever. And it's just like the way they put it, he's from a psychologist perspective, and he's just like, basically, you don't think it could happen in your country because how could something like this ever happen? We all thought that, and here we are. Like, it's such a crazy perspective to hear that. And he's like, you don't think the government's taking away your freedom? It's like, they're taking away your freedom. And it's just such a weird perspective to hear from some. It's crazy.
Every time like a law is added that prevents you from doing something, guess what, buddy? It stacks up.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's to a point here where, like, I think in most European countries, like, wild camping is illegal. You can't do wild camping here.
Really?
But there's gray areas, but basically, don't be destructive, like, and we'll just not take a look at you. But it's pretty rough.
Yeah. I've always noticed that in Europe, you guys have got some wild spots, but like, it's all been discovered 100,000 times over. You know what I mean? Like for us, I mean, Canada's been discovered, but there's places that like people just don't go. You could just go there your whole life and no one would ever find you, ever, in the wild north of Canada, right? It's just like, you can't even get there. Like, how do you?
Pretty much, man. Like, it's, it's just such a big place, but don't like 90% of people, or like,
I live along the border.
Yeah.
Live along the border edge. Yeah.
I seen a half and a half map of Canada, and it was literally like half of it was on like this tiny sliver.
Yeah, so the Southern Ontario is a little arm that you have the Great Lakes. We have these big, huge lakes that basically like bring transportation to all of and trade and everything to all of the inland, called the Great Lakes. And there's Southern Ontario, which is my province, and it's basically right in the middle of those lakes. And up, like, at least more than 50% of Canada lives right there. And the rest lives on the west coast, and the rest just like smattered around, like really, really lightly. So
yeah,
we're concentrated.
Weird.
Yeah, so you wonder kind of what's in those areas where people don't check, because obviously no one is actively checking.
We got Saskatchewan, which is another province. It's basically one gigantic field of wheat. Like, a lot of bread and shit comes from there. A lot of wheat comes from there. And then we got the East Coast, which is fishing and potatoes, pretty much.
Woo!
Yep.
Yeah. There's only a couple of people who like that.
Potatoes! Woo!
Yeah. But moving on from, I guess, that kind of rabbit hole. What's the competition's been like at the moment in Canada? Is it like zero?
There's actually going to be one this weekend that just kind of sprung on it. It's kind of controversial because you used to be able to, anybody can enter any competition in Ontario. You just pay the money you want to enter, go to the club and choose your thing. They made a rule that said you have to be a member of your club. And in order to be a member of your club, you have to be a member of your provincial organization in order to shoot this tournament. But some people don't have clubs, and some people are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kilometers away from clubs. Yeah. So they basically, it's like a gigantic money grab to shoot a mini tournament. I'm going to shoot it. I haven't practiced. I'm going to get if I'm going to lose one this year, it's going to be this one. Like, that's what's going to happen. So we'll see.
What power to you? Lose with grace.
Yes.
Or don't lose.
Yes.
No, you'll be grand. I reckon you'll be grand. But I don't know. That is dodgy. Even here, we have independence. Like, if Thomas wanted to shoot at a competition today.
Thomas, you hear that? You hear that, Thomas? Buckle up.
There you go. If you wanted to
experience, but 100% luck.
You need to join the organization. You don't even need a club.
Man. Yeah, actually, I did join the archery club at my university, but they are, shut for COVID, which sucks. I would have probably been shooting something.
Are you guys in school now? University?
Yeah, we're in university, but we're doing it from home because.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
It's
what are you studying?
Media.
Media.
Yeah.
Yourself, man?
Pardon?
Oh, you have the other guy.
Oh, we're both doing it.
You're both in media.
Same course, yeah.
Sick. That's super cool. Super cool.
But the thing was, like, we knew each other beforehand. We didn't know we were doing the same course, and then we did a podcast, and then found out we were doing the same course. So yeah, that was unique.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, it's handy enough.
Yeah. School and COVID, man. That's got to.
Alex, you muted yourself.
I think he was getting a call.
Lost your volume there, guys. Hold on. Let me
No, you're back.
Wait for
You
something.
can hear you now.
Okay, we're good. Sorry.
That's kind. But no, it is a bit weird. What were you saying?
Yeah, school is it just like I didn't have it. Obviously, university was different. I'm not that much older. I'm 32. I was in school 7 years ago, 8 years ago, a while ago.
But like we were supposed to take, I guess it would be like the final exams over there. We were supposed to do our leaving cert last year, and we were on like the third or second last month before we finished, and COVID happened, and then we weren't in school for the whole thing, and so they did this thing. It's like instead of having what we do in Ireland, we have one big like exam that decides what points you get to get into colleges and stuff. So what they did is that they had the teachers make predicted grades. So we didn't have to sit in exam. I think we were the first. What was
first group ever? First
group ever. Man, I would have loved that. Oh, that would have been amazing for me. That
my problem with that system that they do in Ireland is it's so outdated, and even the teachers know it's outdated. It's just really terrible.
That's shite.
It is shite. It's they don't know what they're at.
Like in Irish, you have to write an essay about how bad the education system is.
There you go. What was it? I bring this example up the whole time that they didn't really update things. So myself and my dad could have done the same agricultural science exam, and he is 53. So and I'm 19. So we could have done the same exact exam. With all that time between us. That's how long it took for them to update it.
Yeah, that's a while.
Apparently farming doesn't get any better, which it does. Yeah. It does. It's gotten way better. But
yes, significantly more advanced.
Yeah, it's seriously that bad. And actually, they updated it last year year before that for the first time.
Oh, jeez.
I was one of the last groups to do that one. I guess they finally caved in and said, okay, they're doing different stuff now. But you know yourself. I don't know. School has a lot to desire at the moment. I think the only country doing it right is probably Finland. They have it aced. How's it done in Canada? What's the story there?
I mean, no school for any students. We're all locked out. We're all doing from home, even the kids and the young ones. They all do remotely. I got a couple of relatives and friends who are teachers, and they're like, this is crazy, because they basically were like, school's canceled, figure it out for your students, and like threw them into the fire with this online learning.
Oh, that's horrible.
And then, I mean, they're pulling through. Some kids are obviously better than others, right? Like the ones that like you guys sound like intelligent individuals. You probably were like, well, I'm smart enough to sort of learn myself if I had to. You know what I mean? And some kids are just like not smart enough to learn unless they have super teacher guidance. Like,
dude, there's some people who won't learn unless you fucking do it for them. Like,
yeah,
you really like some people. You really need to basically read it out to them. You need to put the book in front of their face, like.
And they don't want to learn. They don't want to, right? There's no love of information.
There's a problem with like people not having resources at home. Like,
that
was a really big argument for the leaving cert being cancelled last year. But like,
because Ireland has a lot of poor spots, and if you weren't able, like, they wanted to do like an online one, like we just all get in our laptop and we do an exam there, and they were like, realistically, that's not going to work.
It wouldn't work.
Like even if you just factor in everyone had a laptop. Now let's talk about how fast people's internet is. Let's say the laptop dies. Let's say they get logged out. You know, just stupid stuff like that. Yeah. They'd be dealing with the aftermath of that. But yeah, they just gave up, and I'm probably the thing I'm most grateful for at the moment is they just gave up, because I don't think I would have been able to do it. I got okay grades. I got to do what I want, but fuck me, man, I was not ready.
Yeah.
Because we were out for nearly was it 3 months, Thomas?
About 3 months.
About 3 months, and most of my teachers were barely doing it. Okay, with maths, I remember there was 4 things we had to do for our teacher, and it was like 4 assignments, and that was it for the 3 months. No meetings, 4 assignments. Agricultural science, a message of good luck, and a message of things to study. Biology was the only one I was really like hammering down, doing the right thing.
Oh yeah.
But we were in the same biology class, Thomas, I think.
Yeah. No,
but dude, like
really
they did not know what they were doing. In fairness, even some of the teachers were, technologically illiterate, so it wasn't their fault.
No.
Yeah, we had how did like businesses and stuff around you guys survive? How did businesses and stuff, like, did they all get
deceased?
The pubs have been closed
in mourning
since last March, and they opened maybe for 2 weeks in the last year. because like we've been in lockdown now since October, and our strictest lockdowns, as in barbers aren't open, as in non-essential retail isn't open, anything to do with tourism isn't open. We opened up for 2 weeks in December, and that was the worst shit that ever could have happened, because we had one day where we had like 8,000 cases, which is huge.
Oh,
yeah, you know, fucking massive for a population of
5 million.
Yeah, 5
Yeah.
million, you know, like
It's
that shit was
5.2.
awful. And we've had nearly daily 500 cases. We're down like 200 today, but you know, we had 800 the other day. It's I don't know what, it's not working.
And the dodgy thing is we're in our strictest level of lockdown, and it's still those numbers, because people are not abiding by it.
Yeah, same here. That's what our problem too is. They just like flat out just don't listen.
It's gone past like your average anti-masker lad going down the street screaming, "You can't take away my freedom.
Yeah,
you can't put a muzzle on me." You know, it's to a point where it's just people like, look, realistically, I want to go for a walk with my friends.
Yes.
It's just like people who are in relationships, like it's been like, I think it's been, if you're following it completely, it's been 3 months since you were allowed to see your significant other.
Yeah.
St. Patrick's Day was happened the other day. People met up.
Yeah.
This kind of carry on goes on. It's just dehumanizing, and people aren't enjoying it. No, I stick to everything. I wear my fucking mask.
What I think, I mean, like, I'm no political,
extreme.
I'm no biology or political expert. I just think like, and what Canada did was they did a harsh lockdown at the beginning, but it wasn't harsh enough. They're like, we have these essential businesses that are allowed to stay open. Here they are. If you were deemed unessential, it was rare. Like practically everything was allowed to stay open. Now I'm like, what the hell? That's like having a urinating section in the pool. Like you were allowed to pee in this area of the pool, like as if it's not gonna, like it's, if you're gonna lock it down,
that's a great
just crush everyone's souls for 2 weeks, and that's it, and then call it a day. Like don't even if you're starving to death, don't leave your house. Have a police bring you food or whatever it is, and it's over. It's done. It's done. Now we have to drag it out, and oh my goodness, and then like, ugh. I mean, we were deemed essential, but like, still, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, it's just one of those things. It's rough, and you know, there's not much the average Joe Schmo can do except behave yourself, really.
Yep, pretty much. Yeah.
And no amount of going on a rant on Twitter is going to make people stay inside. But if we're the strictest thing of lockdown, I think we're going to see a lot more of it is people just ignoring it. And like, how much stricter can it get? Like, because again, we're 3 months into like our strictest lockdown. They're going to go for, I think, 5 months in our strictest, and then open up a little bit. But you know, still, people are heading out. But like, there's no restaurants to go to. There's no nothing. It's just kind of, they've had these things pop up, like you know, people setting up pubs in their houses. You know, that kind of stuff. What are they called, Thomas? Shebeens?
Yeah, shebeens.
Dude, that's just disappointing.
Yeah, that's right. We've been in a lockdown hardcore since Christmas, but
Jesus.
I mean, like, as you said, like, I see my kids, I see my wife, I see my in-laws. My parents have been stuck in Mexico for like 6 months, and other than that, that's pretty much all I see. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but then you get the people that are like, well, I went to go visit my friend halfway across the country because I missed him. I'm like, you are literally the reason why we have COVID
you're
right now.
You're the reason,
like,
buddy.
You're the reason, bud. Like,
yeah. I've been keeping it pretty clean. It's my family, and then my girlfriend. That's all.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's rough. It's very dehumanizing at the moment. But
yeah,
how much we can do.
We had back to archery, but I had had my arrow sponsor drop me, like flat out across the board. They sent an email at the beginning of the year that says, "Hey guys, no pro staff for this year. Axed everyone, even they're like hardcore pros."
Gone from 7 to nothing.
Oof.
Well, 1-ish. I think I have to call them. But yeah, like we're on the same page. It's just nothing.
Yeah.
And there's no real recovery there.
Who are you running for arrows?
For arrows, I use Easton Carbon ones, but I buy them like. For the fletches, it's I can't. XS wings. I forgot.
XS. Okay. Yeah.
And then bigger setup.
I was on the Carbon Express train. Got a good plan with them for a while. And then they just flat out, I mean, like, it's a business decision. If they're losing money during COVID, it was their decision. So no problem. And I've, the guys that have kept going with me and I love them to death are the Bjorn Dragonflight guys.
Lucky, dude. I basically borderline harassed them to try sponsor me. When I was younger, I feel terrible for it. But dude, they have quality. Like, there's a reason. You know,
Yeah.
every time I win a competition, there'd be an email sent off to them. Yeah, but I know they have spot on gear. It's incredible.
Yeah, they have some good stuff. I mean, I find for anything target related or string walking related, they're phenomenal. They're robust and everything. I find for indoor, their big ones work really well, but I find their vanes work especially good if you shoot fast. So if you have high arrow speed, their vanes work really, really well. Indoor, if you're shooting like a lighter poundage and you're lobbing these big, nice like logs, like nice and slow, because who cares, it's indoor. Regular feathers, I think, might be a little bit better suited. But admittedly, my highest scores have come from using their vanes, so they're fantastic. I love those things.
Stick with them. Do you know what your arrow speed is?
For 3D, it's about 230 something.
Get back on mute.
Yeah, I'm mute again.
Wait. Did we hear you back?
Hello.
Hello.
Hear you?
There you go. Yeah, we're here.
Here we go. Yeah, for 3D, it's about 230 something. For field, it's about just over 200. And for indoor, it's like, I don't know, 180.
Yeah, we're about the same page.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people don't realize how fast those things are going. What is
yeah, they're freaking booting it.
Did you guys have a max in Canada?
No. I mean, we do, but no recurve's ever going to hit it.
It's
I think the max, 310 for us. 310. Yeah, I mean, like, no recurve is reliably going to do that without making their bow explode.
Yeah, well, I know guys who can shoot a consistent 290. That's power. Yeah.
Holy jeez, that is serious.
Full Hoyt setup. Yeah. 48 pounds.
Yeah, I shoot 48, and even with like a 250 grain arrow, I don't get anything above 240.
Yeah. Dude, your one's a beast anyway. Mine's like a slingshot compared to yours.
Dude, it's all about. I mean, do you guys have is yours unmarked or is yours marked? Distance.
Everything's unmarked.
Everything's unmarked. Okay, yeah. So unmarked is an advantage to have really fast arrow speed, but I mean, if you can't know what you're aiming at, man, like I can lighten the arrow and speed that thing up, but if I can't hit what I'm aiming at, what's the point? Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
What's the point?
Yeah, just one of those things. Archery can be super technical. I'm at a point where I've basically forgotten most of it. I'll relearn it eventually when I get the chance to shoot. But
and then you should dial it up hard and qualify. Do you guys have a World Archery field team?
I'm not a member of World Archery.
Why not?
Why not? Archery Ireland is kind of complicated. But I think that they're doing a deal with my group, IFA, IFF, so that we can shoot at each other's competitions from now on. It was something like we've been letting them shooting our competitions for maybe 5 years, and they just literally, I don't think there's any malintent that they forgot to answer an email. So now I can go and compete in their competitions. I've done it before, but I have to go as like independent.
Yeah, man, go qualify as an independent, and then see me at World Fields. We'll hang out.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what your qualification is there.
I don't know either.
The Irish archer that I know is Sarah Tooney.
Sarah Toomey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know
you know her. Yeah. That's who I've met her a couple times. Just at Lancaster when she comes over here and stuff like that. But
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what your qualification is for any large tournament. Ours takes 2 years to qualify for a tournament.
That is awesome. Well, with IFA, you don't have to qualify. Like I went off to the States independently and competed there. That turned out great.
That's great.
Same with the Europeans here twice. Twice. I had to check myself nearly. But it's kind of handy when the barrier isn't there because you're not restricting some people.
Yeah.
Like anyone could compete. Anyone could show up. Like you could show up to the Worlds there, or even the Europeans. Like they let people shoot as guests, whatever. But kind of the best man on the day.
Yeah.
I think when you're doing the qualification things, you might get a guy who's there on a fluke. You could have like a pro who missed out because of injury. You know?
That's the purpose of the 2-year thing. So it's not like you have to it's not just one turn and away you go. It's not that. It's like you have to progressively show an average over a certain amount of tournaments. So like you could shoot 10 and they'll take your 7 best or something like that. So you literally can have a pro who's sick. You know what I mean? And like it just doesn't make it for some reason. So that's okay.
So
I kind of like that.
7 competitions.
No. So how our schedule actually is, you have to shoot your provincial, which is like you have to shoot your club level events that are official. You have to shoot your provincial level events, and you have to shoot your national level events for 2 years in a row. Then they take your average score over those 2 or your combined score, and the top 3 go. But they only take a certain amount of events. So if you miss your provincials, they'll take 2 club levels, etc. So it's not just shoot your best and hope you win, and you can get 1 arrow and for some reason you don't go, and the best person doesn't go. They avoid that, which I like, right? Because that sucks when that happens.
Yeah, but I still prefer like anyone can show up, kind of carry on because
like our nationals and everything, that's all open, and even the World Archery events are not, the big World Archery events are not that, but your country can choose how many people they want to send. You know what I mean? So your country can send like 15 people. So if they really want to send everyone,
they do that kind of stuff for the Olympics, like, but whatever works, man.
Yeah, gotta get it. We shoot IFAA, which is NFAA, right? Same thing. IFAA. Yeah, it's we shoot. Though you guys have the best field events. They're so good, man. They are truly. No offense, World Archery. NFA's got you beat. Like they're for sure. They're just better, more exciting, better ranges. Like it's better. It's just my opinion.
Like with World Archery, like I don't know. With World Archery, like they're more clean cut. You know, like they'll put a target out there, but they'll like kind of clear out the area first. Dude, they could put a stone in front of it in NFAA. They'll put a stone in the kill zone, you know?
Yeah. I mean, 3D, I've had some, depends on the course designer, I've had some pretty rough World Archery courses. Like, especially, so like, this is why I have this conversation with my buddies that shoot all the time. They're like, I shot great. I'm like, yeah, but it's club. Like, a club sets an archery course because people come and shoot it and they want people to come back. If someone at a provincial level event, same thing, because they get the same people every year. But for a national or an international level event, they don't want you to come back because they don't care. They want to scare the shit out of you with how hard the course is. So everyone puts everyone like down. You know what I mean? So like international is a different thing. But yeah, I'm trying to do that. It's pretty good. We got to get buddy over there with the bow. Why not? Rejoin your archery club, man.
Yeah, he's gonna. It's an expensive sport to get into, which is a big boundary for us.
It is. That is true.
When he gets to do it with the clubs in college, they have bows there and they have good bows. I've talked to the people there. They're handy enough. Like, yeah.
I'm looking forward to it, man. I've never shot a bow and arrow. You know, I had one of those.
Dude, it's super fun.
Plastic ones. You know,
it's crazy.
How'd you get into it, Gerard?
So I was a wee lad back in the day, playing with the sticks and stones.
Yeah.
And my dad says, "How are you getting on, Jer? I need to bring a child with me, so your mother will let me do things." And so what my dad was doing, this is how it normally goes. So my dad used to do airsoft, and then he realized, I'm 40 something. What am I doing? I'm getting the bruises this week, and then coming back 2 weeks later with the same bruise. I need to move on to something. And then one of his friends has moved to archery, and because just a sport, they got his kid into it. And he was like, okay, it's a bit awkward. I'm here with myself and this other guy's kid, and blah, blah, blah. I'll bring mine. Brings me. It's an excuse to get along, and I guess do whatever he wants. So we're doing a bit of archery. Then I think my brother tried it as well. He loved it. I loved it as well. And then my sister wanted to try it and gets in. And then my mom got into it too. The whole family does it now. Even the dog every now and then.
Yeah.
Dude,
strap it on.
Whole family.
Strap the dog in. Let's do this.
Yeah. But no,
give her a quiver.
the whole family got into it eventually. We're all doing it now, and no complaints, no regrets. I was at a point where I was sitting on my ass doing nothing. Like I did martial arts for a long time. I did kickboxing, and I got to my purple belt with a brown tip, so very brown. I got really frustrated, and then ended up doing archery. So that was a great thing to move on to. Yeah, that's how I started. Dad needed someone, and there was the oldest son. So
yeah, sweet.
How'd you get into it, man?
Oh, dude, I've had an athletic whirlwind. I skied when I was a kid. That was my sport. I was a skier. And then I realized that I used to freestyle ski, and I realized that I'm going to die. Like, what am I doing? I'm going to die, because I would do things that, like, looking back, I was like, I was insane. Like I had a death wish, and I realized that me and my brother did it. My brother got some pretty bad accident. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to stop so I don't undergo that. And then I played volleyball into my university years too. I played for my university. And then someone told me in university, like, dude, it doesn't matter how high you can jump, doesn't matter how fast you can run or how good you are. You will never play volleyball at any higher level than you are, because you're too short. I'm not that short. I'm 5'10", but I'm not 6'10". You know what I mean? Like,
you're taller than me.
Yeah, but like,
that's my dream snapped.
Yeah, but I mean, like, seriously, like, I'm trying to block a guy, and the guy's literally 6'10", and he doesn't look that tall on his team. And you're like, this is insane. But like, doesn't matter how high you can jump, man. It takes you a while to get up and a while to get down, and the ball plays over by the time you hit the ground. So it doesn't matter. So then I picked up table tennis, and I played that pretty passion fueled. Actually, I actually played professionally in China after university.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, I played, and then I came back played for my national team for a while, and I still love that. The problem is that super high level table tennis players, especially in North America, are few and far between. So you want to practice with someone who's even remotely close to your skill level, it's tough. It's tough, and often they're older guys that have come from another country and emigrated to Canada. And I play with them, and I'm a 25-year-old like jacked individual who's like, let's just go, and they're tired after an hour. You know what I mean? So that became a problem with finding practice partners. And then after that, I was like, I need to find a sport that I can do as high as I want that doesn't need anybody else. And then my buddy invited me to go hunting, and so I got not into hunting, but I like hunting a little bit. And then so I did that a little bit, and I was like, I figured out I really like shooting a bow way more than hunting itself. So I still like hunting, but like shooting a bow is great. And then I started doing a little bit, and I realized I'm like, whoa, this is awesome. And then here I am.
Well, power to you, man. You've had some of a career there. But yeah. It's amazing you can bow hunt in Canada, right?
You can, yep, you can. There's obviously rules and seasons regarding it, but you can absolutely bow hunt in Canada, yep.
Yeah, that's not even a thing here.
Yeah. Bowling in Europe is like, I think there's places you can do it, but it's like super posh and super pricey. Germany. Yeah.
That's the thing that they ended up doing it here in Europe. They made it a luxury thing to hunt, whereas like you can either be seen as like a poor man's thing in the States. Yeah, it's just a sport really, but you know it would be seen that way. But I really hate that about Europe, or at least Ireland, for that matter. It's just hunting is such like a poshy, snobby kind of thing, because it's gone past the point of cost effectiveness. Like you're not really going to reap the benefits of it at that point. You're going to go out, spend 500 quid on your gun, more, actually way more, and then you're going to spend, I don't know, a huge amount of money for your ammo. You're going to practice with your friends on a range every now and then. You'll kill one of the very few deers in Ireland, and then I don't know. Where would you even get it processed in Ireland? Most lads won't do it themselves.
Yeah. I mean, here, that's the big thing, right? At that point, you're literally just paying to kill something at that point, right?
Which is just stupid.
It is stupid.
Even trophy hunting in Africa is better than that, because the meat is better getting donated to the village. You're dumping money into this area. That's so much better than the way it's being done here.
Yeah. I mean, which is probably why it's fine. But like in Canada, you could go buy, we have a big box chain called Canadian Tire, and it just like sells everything. You was at like discount auto parts store, but it sells everything. You literally can go buy a rifle from Canadian Tire for $100 and a box of shells for 10, and you probably could feed your family for the year if you did it right. You know what I mean? Like you could do that. which is especially in the States. In the States I don't know what it is. There is so many deer in the States. There's so many. It's like you can go in certain states, you can go and get 6 deer tags, prove that you shot all 6, and they'll just give you 6 more. You can kill 6 deer a day. Like, that's insane. I can kill 2 a year. And I've never done that. Yeah, 2 a year, and that's it. I mean, there's other animals too, right? Like there's wild turkey, there's bear, there's moose, there's elk, there's all sorts of stuff in Canada, right?
If you keep talking about elk meat, Joe Rogan's gonna pop in here.
Yeah.
Dude, he's a character for hunting.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What a guy. But what do you think about bow hunting? Do you think it's more ethical or less?
Oh man, like talking about hunting in general, the ethics thing, I'm killing something. Like flat out, you know what I mean? Ethically right or wrong, whatever you want to put that, something is dying for me. So ethics right there aside, that's not good. I don't like killing things. That's what people don't, like I tell even the most hardcore, like you can be anti-hunting. I mean, like
you need to think it out. You need to educate yourself in the field first.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
because even if you shoot it or if you put an arrow through it, you're killing it so much faster and so nicer than anything else that could have happened.
That's what I tell people. I'm like, look, like you cannot eat meat and be an anti-hunter. It does not make logical sense. I know there's some, I like to call them slob hunters, which are like unethical individuals that literally just want to kill things, and that's bad.
Just dicks. They're terrible people.
They're terrible people. But like setting those, they're murderers basically. Set those people aside and look at the people who are doing it ethically and properly and legally and like within their limits and everything. If you eat meat, there is no way, you have no logical argument to disagree with that. You will be crushed. So I also think I think they should bring a skill, like a competence test for archery. Like I truly think they should, particularly with a recurve, because like I've seen people stand 12 yards away from a deer-sized target and miss the kill zone 5 out of 10 times. You know what I mean? And those are the guys that are like, let's hit the woods. And they're going out and they're sitting in an awkward position and they're trying to, and like that annoys me to no end. So I think there should be a competence test, which is like, it's so ethically, the way I do it, I like to think I'm an ethical hunter. I'm not going to take a shot. I'm accurate. I know I can kill a deer out to 30 or 40 yards. No problem every time.
Yeah, you have to do your kill distance too.
Yeah.
Don't try 60.
I'm not even going to shoot one at 30. So I know that I guarantee myself something. I know they're going to drop. I know it's going to be. And so I like to think of myself as an ethical hunter. But bow hunting is less ethical than gun hunting because it's less lethal, period. You know what I mean? Like,
don't they bleed out faster?
Right, but they don't die due to hydrostatic shock. If you shoot a deer with a gun, like anywhere within the kill zone, just like look at slow-mo, it creates like a huge air pocket in their body called hydrostatic shock and can kill them just because of that. A deer, they literally have to bleed to death and hit them with an arrow. They're not dropping because of shock. So like if you shot it with a gun or shot it with an arrow, it's probably going to die more effectively with a gun. And because of the choice of me taking a shorter range shot, I would say it's probably equivalent. Like with me, a gun and a bow is the same thing because I'm only going to take a shot I know it can make.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And accidents happen no matter what you do.
You kind of risk it,
Yeah.
Like we've all seen the pictures of like a book that's hanging around with an arrow in like the back of its neck.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
In the antler, I've seen as well. Like,
and like
whoever shot that sucked.
You can hunt in private property, you can hunt on public land. There's lots of public land to hunt in Canada. And like when you go on public land, that's when you see people, you're like, what are you doing out here? Like I literally have been hunting on public land in Canada and with turkeys. And like people are like around you with shotguns and you're like, man, I know that if I made a noise, this guy would just turn and shoot at the noise. You know what I mean? Like it's
scary as fuck.
It's scary. So like I've only turkey hunted on public land once and I've deer hunted a few times. Deer hunting is different because you're up in a tree stand and unless the deer walks, you're not gonna like a hunter's, it's different. You're wearing blaze orange, it's different. But like I've had buddies tell me that like they make a turkey noise on public land, and a guy approaches them with a shotgun, and then we have to stand up and wave the guy off. I'm like, what are you guys doing shooting at noises? Like, that's not ethical. That is
Dude, that's just fucked. That's fucked.
Yeah, it's super messed up. Like, so there's stuff that goes on when you hunt, but I would say ethicality is not really the weapon. It's more the hunter.
Yeah. The argument I've seen for bow hunting, though, is that it puts you on a similar plane to the thing being hunted. There's a huge skill level there.
Yeah,
and
it does.
You miss more than you hit, really. Realistically, or you lose, maybe not miss, you lose a shot, like they get too far away, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, you lose the opportunity way more than you get a shot opportunity. Yeah, you miss it more than you get it. Not miss the arrow, but you know what I mean.
Even like you could go after 2 animals in the year, versus if you bought the gun and you shoot 6 and you go after 6 the next day, you could do that. Like with a rifle, that's so much easier. But when you're dealing with a bow, there's a skill level. So you've put a lot of work in the first place. You're probably a more level-headed individual because of bow hunting. And then, I don't know, like you're saying, if you're doing it at the right distance, it's basically equivalent.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like let's say if at 50 yards, if I hit the same spot with the rifle, and if at 20 yards I get the same spot with the bow, like what's the difference? Like what if it's a game of what kills the animal faster?
Now,
I shoot the animal with a heart with an arrow. If I shoot him like in the high shoulder with a gun, it's the same. Like what's the difference really? Like animal has a more ethical kill than whatever you see at a grocery store. So like
yeah, absolutely. No, I think there's one place we could absolutely agree on. Like I bring up, with you're putting yourself on the same level as the deer if you're bow hunting.
Yeah.
How do you feel about spear hunting?
I mean, there's certain
you're putting yourself at the same level, but that is so much worse than the arrow. That is just, dude, you could fuck that up.
Dude, yeah, like, okay, honestly, at this point in time, like, what's the point in spear hunting? Like, why are you trying to get meat?
It's to say you did it.
The only way you can get it's to say you did it. So it's an ego thing. You know what I mean? And like, I guess, well, then why wouldn't I hunt with a gun over a bow? I guess you can almost apply that same argument. But
why would you use a rifle when you can use a machine gun?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like,
why use a machine gun if you got a nuclear warhead? Like that argument.
Yeah, so it's in Canada. Let's take
that might have been too far for Thomas.
He's gone. He's gone.
Going deer hunting.
There's with a nuke strapped to your back. Let's do this. Yeah. There's in Canada, in my area, there is deer season is October, all of November, all of December, and it ends New Year's Day. Okay. Shotgun hunting is 1 week of November and 1 week of December, only in certain spots. Only 2 weeks of the year can you hunt with a shotgun. With a rifle, it's 1 week in only very select locations. So, like, if you're actually trying to get meat for your family, the most effective way you can do it is by participating in all of those seasons. So if deer season is the longest with a bow, that's why I'm hunting with a bow. If you want to look at it, why wouldn't I use a gun over a bow? It's because
I understand why you do it. I think anyone listening understands too. You're not one of those guys going out there to just fuck shit up.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like no, like I don't like killing things. People are like, don't you have to kill it? I'm like, yeah, I do have to kill the thing, but I indirectly eating a steak is the same thing. Something died. The only difference is
the thing with a steak is, how many things have to die for all the steaks you've had this year.
Yeah.
Now you apply that to the deer, or even if you talk about chicken, like how many chickens have to die for you this year alone? It's not even over yet. And like with the deer, dude, you could get a good. I don't know how long would you get out of deer? 2 to 4 months.
The general thing is, when you get an animal, 30% of the animal's overall body weight is pure weight. It's pure meat.
Yeah.
So you got 100-pound deer, that's like 33 pounds of meat.
Yeah.
And a 100-pound deer is a small deer.
Yeah, that would be pretty small deer.
Yeah, you can get really small deer, like 60 pounds, but you could get like a decent sized buck is 150, 200 pounds. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That's pretty good. 50 pounds of meat. That's
happy days.
That's pretty good. You get a moose, they're 1,500 pounds. You know what I mean? Like, have a good time.
If you get a moose, holy fuck. You're done. You're done, man. Like, you're done.
Dude, we have there's a province in Canada called Newfoundland, and there's more moose than people.
Really?
Yeah, there's more moose. There's more moose than people in that province.
They need some hunters over there.
Yeah, they have them. They have them. I mean, they get there a lot. Everyone gets a moose tag. Moose tag for you. Moose tag for you. Moose tag for you. Go ahead, just everyone. And then they have no natural predators. There's no wolves in the island. There's no coyotes in the island. It's just like free for all.
That's another thing when it comes to the ethics of hunting. Like if we don't kill these things, guess what happens? They're gonna eat themselves to starvation.
Yeah, they're gonna die. That's like I try to like
if you do anything in biology, if you learn about ecology, that's how it works. What happens when there's no predators? They eat all the food. Then there's a big drop in the population because they starve.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to tell my mom that I was like whitetail deer, like max lifespan, max like 10 years. Okay. And like those last 2 years, not nice years. They're like got a disease. They're starving to death because they're weak. They got a broken bone. Like they're cacking off. So if you kill an 8-year-old deer, it's like the best life that deer could ever have.
No joke. Yep.
Yeah. Right. So
people will not want to be here. People won't want to hear that. But the other option for that 8-year-old deer was starve to death, or I don't know, some kind of minor predator would eventually take it out.
Rip it apart, rip it to shreds while it's alive. Exactly. Have a coyote literally eat it alive, around, or die of disease in some pit somewhere, starve to death. Like it's way better for that deer to. It's like when I hunt turkeys. I love hunting turkeys. It's super fun just because you can call them and stuff like that. And there's a turkey in the property I usually hunt, and he has a limp. And he's the one turkey that I want to hunt because he's going to get eaten alive by a coyote anyway with that limp. So I might as well get him. Like, you know what I mean? It's the most sustainable. That's why I don't like the word trophy hunting because it kind of the picture everyone paints is the big fat American sitting over a giraffe with a
shotgun
rifle
in hand.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah, look how, and that masculinity, like, yeah, look at me. But in reality, what trophy hunting actually means is you are taking out the oldest and most mature of the species because it's going to die anyway. That's what it actually means. It's the most mature animal you can find. So
they do that in Africa. Like they'll find like sterile and old giraffes, and then they'll have
charge $50,000 and say you can go kill that one,
and then that money gets pumped into the people there, meat, and then the population improves because there's one thing not taking resources. It's so complicated.
A lot of people that's a huge misconception though about hunting in Africa. Like, I mean, because it just gets painted in such an evil light, you know what I mean? Because that image is gross of the guy sitting over shotgun handle with this beautiful, majestic giraffe. What people don't realize is that giraffe was killing the younger giraffes because they were trying to mate, and he wouldn't let them mate. Literally, like killing them, literally breaking their necks. And like same with a while ago, you probably remember it. Remember that dentist that shot that lion?
Yes.
In Cecil the lion, right?
Yeah.
Like it's the same thing. That guy got demonized. I'm like, look, like these people in Africa own these ranches and swatches of land that are like 30,000 acres. They own these massive, massive areas. Do you think they want all the animals to be shot on their land? No, because then no one would come back. So obviously they manage the population through health and like all sorts of stuff. It's big misconception. But trophy hunting is like recently they like I'm not a Trump supporter, but they made the rule.
I figured.
Yeah, Trump made the rule that said when you go to Africa, you can bring back the parts of the animals you kill. You can bring back the meat or whatever. And they passed that rule. And everyone got all up in a tizzy and like, they freaked out. But in reality, it's probably a good thing that rule existed.
It's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a good. And then like the first thing the other media says is, well, Trump condones poaching. I'm like, what? Like, I don't like the guy, but it's not poaching people. Like,
dude,
come on.
There was a lot of manipulation of what that guy said.
Oh yeah.
And I like him or not, it happened, and it was rough. I wouldn't
both sides. Both sides. So like, I mean, like I'm not a fan of the. I'm not a fan of the guy, but like
this guy
you gotta look at things.
Yeah, this guy's gonna Thomas, you said this before. Eventually, he's going to be able to do like talks on what it was like being the most hated man in the world.
I don't think he'll ever come to the light of day again. I think he'll like. Whereas Trump always just passing his days and his thing. I don't think he'll. Maybe because he really likes attention. Like maybe he will. But like, dude, there was so much illegal stuff that went on that like I think if he like publicly did anything, it would be like smell blood in the water. Like I think it would be that.
I don't know. I said before that I can see him writing a book on talking about how to deal with hate and how to deal with constant like being attacked.
Someone should write that for him, not him write it.
No, that way. Like,
yeah, you know, honestly, I probably would read that book.
Oh yeah, this seems really interesting. I mean,
yeah,
the most qualified man on the planet.
Yeah, to write that book.
I mean, the guy got probably fucking thousands of death threats every day online.
All of mainstream media,
you know? Like
anyone who was like, okay, there's anyone on Twitter basically, just like slating the guy. But it's not. I'm not saying a lot of it wasn't justified.
Yeah.
But in fairness, like that kind of hate hasn't been put on anyone else in the last 20 years. 40.
100%. I mean, like, I have lots of friends that are hardcore Trump supporters.
Yeah.
Right. That are like, and like, they also spit the hate from the other side too. I'm like, oh my God, guys, can't you just like sit on the fence for one day?
Dude, the fence is where it's at.
Take a bit of this, take a bit of that. You know what I mean? Like, let's make our own decisions as logical, critical thinking individuals and go with our life. Yeah. It's painful.
Yeah. No,
I'd read that book.
It's crazy. I mean,
I
have lots of friends who have very different political views. Me and Jared have different political views sometimes. Like,
we can live with it though.
Yeah. We're all individuals. Like, we all, none of us are evil. The other side isn't evil. No. You know what I mean? Like, you might portray it like that, but it's not.
Jared's evil, but it's not for political.
Yeah, he's super evil. Look at that grin. He's just like staring us down. He's just.
No, but there is like 4 or 5 just dicks on each side. Maybe actually evil people who want to see the worst happen. That's why we have like worries about the far right and the far left. Like,
oh yeah, don't get me. Yeah, there is the crazies. There absolutely is the crazies.
Yeah, but the average Joe Schmo and the average silly Sally, like they're just doing their doing their business,
doing their thing. So, what is this political situation like in Ireland right now?
No, we're super left leaning. Like we're just being more progressive nearly every day. COVID kind of put a dent in it, but we're getting there. Yeah. Like we're not Canada. Like most people look at Canada as like, oh, that's like the United States, but with Irish values nearly, or I guess political values. But yeah, like,
dude, we're all over the map.
Yeah, you're a weird place, Thomas. Most people would say like they'd rather move to Canada than the States, right? Yeah. Most people I talk to.
Yeah, I mean that's generally the consensus of the. I mean, like the States is, dude. If you go there, like they're insanely nice people, and like everyone's like Canadians are so nice, dude. We are not as nice as the U.S. We might be more polite, but we're not as nice as the U.S. The problem is that that's not a problem. The U.S. just think they're the greatest. And if you give you know what I mean? And like whether or not they are or not is a totally different topic.
Man, but they bet the Nazis.
Yeah.
Like that's gonna last.
Yeah. A lot of stuff going on there. The States is a beautiful place, but I would rather live in Ireland.
Really? You don't like Canada, do you?
I love Canada, but I mean I'd rather live in Ireland than the States.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I really want to come to Europe. I think it'd be really cool.
Well, you wouldn't want to be a hunter then.
No, yeah. I mean, like, dude, I'm a hunter, but I'm not like a die-hard, live for it, dream about it.
You could give it up, could you?
Yeah, I mean, like, I would hate to give it up. I fish more than I hunt. You know what I mean? Like, I just.
Oh, that's another story here.
Yeah. Can you guys go fishing? I know you guys got some laws about that stuff too.
We're not allowed to fish. Well,
no fishing.
It's like.
Well, it's like you catch it, you put it back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Catch it.
You don't really. I think you need some kind of license to. Keep them, and then like even at that you need I don't know, self-sufficiency in Ireland is kind of a gray area. Like they don't really want you doing it.
Nah.
Yeah, I think the Irish Water, like the Irish company in charge of like government-run company in charge of water in Ireland, they own the rain technically. So, that's a bit of a weird one.
Whoa, yeah. I mean, like the cool thing about you guys in Europe is you have like my archery passion came from like, dude, like medieval and like ancient things like that way, not the Fredbear trad guys from the natives from the Western. I like you guys have like ancient archer families that go back to like the dawn of time. And that is so cool. That is so cool.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Like one of our first guests on this was Jack Benson. He's the only bow maker in Ireland. He's you know what bowyer is.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it makes traditional like English longbows. Dude, they are beautiful. They are so amazing to shoot as well.
Oh,
it's just that history is awesome. And then even like if you want to go to like the more like the Ottoman era bows or the horse bows from like when Genghis Khan and the boys came and messed with the place. Dude, they're beautiful to shoot. Yeah, the old world bows are really cool, but the Native American flat bows, I love them. They're so cool. They're like everything good about a longbow, and then everything good about like a trad recurve.
Yeah. I like American flat bows are awesome. The traditional nature of not trad, the traditional nature of an English longbow is so cool. It's got so much awesome history to it. I like all bows. I like them all. They're freaking sweet. Wood arrows are so cool.
Dude, I know, but expensive.
Dude,
you pay like €9 for them here, and then like you break 3 of them. Good luck.
Yeah, there it goes.
Dude, you know what's even worse? When you hit the target and they break, that's a rough one.
Yeah, that sucks.
Whether it be it just came out wonky, or it kind of bounced and then broke for some reason, or you hit the rebar in the leg or something, whatever was holding it up. Yeah, it can be rough. Yeah,
that sucks.
Remind me what bow you shoot at the moment.
Tempest.
Yeah, I'll try to put a picture of it. It's a sexy looking bow, so it is.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's got border Tempest. It's actually a bowyer from Scotland, right? Tempest is a bowyer from Scotland. They're been in the game for a long time. They're super famous for their super recurve limbs, like they're really, really curved ones. I shoot their riser, which is their aluminum 27-inch border Tempest riser, which has tons of deflex, which is excellent forgiveness and pointing when it comes to barebow. I have a bunch of attachments on that. I have like top left there, me shooting.
Here,
my hunting boat is there. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, there, you can see that bow there.
You're not going to copyright strike us for this now?
No, you can do whatever you want. My stuff's free, guys. Use it.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get a shot of it there. Oh, dude, it's the bronze one. Is this? That's sexy.
Yeah. Weird to see myself through like 6 different screens.
No flick at all. That's just steady as it goes.
I have if you look in the bottom there, I custom made a tungsten weight out of a special tungsten heavy iron alloy.
Do you have a picture of it somewhere here? Or is it just,
if you scroll way down, you might see a picture of it. Way down. Maybe. Keep going.
You got a good feed, man. Was this a hunt?
Yeah, that's one turkey breast.
Oh wow.
That's one turkey breast. One turkey breast was 9 pounds.
That is
Jesus
special, and that's another reason why you should consider hunting.
Rabbit stew right there. There's a rabbit stew there. That was super good.
Edit?
Nope. Scroll up. Nope. That's not it. That's down. That's it. That's it. Down. Now. Yep. That one.
Dude, considering the shape of your bow, that is beautiful.
That's not the Border Tempest.
I know that's the old one, but
yeah, that's a CD Archery. That's an amazing bow too.
I love their ones.
They're super great. They have heavy mass pockets, like you can see a lot of aluminum on either end, like a big heavy. That makes it so stable in the aftershock, like so stable. But like so that brass weight you see that like square-ish looking one, it's the exact same as that except tungsten. So it's 36. It's 36 ounces, which is 2 pounds.
Are you still using the sniper rest?
I am. Yep. The sniper rest. Yep. I am still using that.
They're pretty special. But anyway, Alex, it's been a pleasure. It's been a good chat.
Yeah, guys, it was great talking, man. Let's keep in touch because it took so much effort for us to schedule this, and I'm very sorry about that.
You got COVID. It's okay. But here, if people want to check you out, they can find you here. But where else can they find you if they want to follow you? Keep up
Alex, just Insta, Facebook, Alex Melnik. It's just my personal, but like, man, I love everyone as long as you're not a dick. So
there you go.
Come on, join the party.
It's a party, definitely. So there you go. If you're scared of black squares, you may stay away. But Anyway, it was a pleasure, Alex. I'm glad we got to have the chat finally.
Yeah.
Thomas, I hope you learned something. I hope people listening learned something.
Thomas, we are going to get a bow in your hands, buddy. It's going to be great. Okay. We're going to do some. Me and G Money here are going to coach you up. It's going to be great.
I always enjoy doing these archery episodes. I always learn something cool. Whether it's about
cool, man.
It's awesome.
Guys, it was great talking to you, man.
There you go. So if you want to check them out, you know where to find them. And if you got this far, fair play. But most importantly, take it handy. Good luck and stay away from yourself. Top of the morning, lads and ladies. Support for the Off the Irish podcast is now brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels, and you'll no longer need the look of the Irish with the ladies. Make every day feel like St. Patrick's Day for your balls with Manscaped. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code IrishPod at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at Manscaped and use code IrishPod. Use the right tools for the job and trim your pant potatoes.